The traders are answering your questions now, and we begin with a video question from California.
Hi, Halftime. Hi, Scott. This is John Hoffpower from sunny San Diego, and I have a question for John Najarian. VALE. I own it, and should I keep it or should I add to it? Thanks.
All right, good question. Doc, what do you tell John about Vale?
Well, obviously ferrous minerals as well as base metals and so forth. And it's the base metals that really get people excited right now, John. The reason for that is, of course, Tesla's saying, hey, will you go out and get us a whole bunch of nickel that we need for these batteries in our EVs? That's big. It's helping move the stock up. I like Vale. I like Vulcan Materials. I like Cemex. I think a lot of these, Scott, just like top of the show, play out very well on the infrastructure side, as well as, like I say, increased demand from EV. And it's not just Tesla, it's all the EV makers right now.
All right, good stuff. Thanks, John, for the question. Thanks, John, for the answer.
Thank you.
Josh, to you. Abby in Florida, Verizon. Is it a great 5G play?
It depends on what you're looking for. I think they will benefit from 5G. There's a lot of services that can be layered onto existing plans, and there will be a lot of excitement for the new phones. It's not going to give you like a high beta return. For that, you probably want to look at some of the chip companies that are more involved. But I'm in Verizon. I never sell it. I use the dividends to reinvest and buy more shares. Company's been able to grow its dividend every year for the last 17 years. And on a total return basis, this is way better than being in bonds. So I'm willing to accept equity volatility for this high dividend yield. And if the stock price goes up because of 5G, it's almost like a cherry on top for me.
Okay. Shan, to you. Mahendra in London. Is UPS a buy at the current price?
Yes, I think it is. We bought the stock back in March, and although we've certainly benefited from, I think, the COVID-19 online shopping trend, online ordering is here to stay, and they're looking to endeavor to increase their brand profile and replace some of FedEx business and be able to really continue their role as the leading package deliverer in the world. And so I think there's continued upside here in the stock.
Quickly, Josh, just on, since we're talking about transports, right? It's not just UPS and FedEx and things like that. Transports are at new all-time highs today.
They sure are, and that's getting zero help from the airlines. So probably the strength of the non-airline transports, if anything, is being understated.
The rails.
The rails have pricing power. People are like buying dishwashers and cars, and the rails actually have something to say about what their shipping rates are, and that is that's a good thing for the economy when pricing power returns to things like transports. So I think that's a sign of how strong business is.
Okay, Jethro, to you from Molly in Connecticut. What are your thoughts on Cloudflare?
We continue to like Cloudflare. We're in an environment where there's an increasing scarcity of growth and a pretty dubious economy. So we think you should stay own names that are geared to some of these long-term secular tailwinds. And Cloudflare's case in particular, it's a web infrastructure company that has high exposure to some of these secular tailwinds of cloud security, internet content delivery, and firewall protection. So the stock's had a nice run, so we would be sort of accumulating on dips, but we think it's a good long-term holding.
Okay. Josh, I got one more for you from Angie. What's a good entry point for Unity Software?
So this is tough because the stock's only been trading for like 2 weeks. So you can't really look at a chart. So I would say if you want to be an investor in it, just buy it. I'm long the stock, but I own it from a venture position. So I own it pre-IPO. I have no plans to do anything with it. I want to be invested in this for the long term. Video games, it's just so the growth in video games this year and what's coming in the Christmas season. I think these stocks will all do well, and Unity is the only name I own in this space.